All right, what's up, guys? How's it going? I am Is There No One Else? I'm bringing you my Clockwork City light armor Petplar build, um, for this patch. Now, there's a few different ways to go about running the Petplar build. Now, if you guys have watched my previous setup, it was Shackle Breaker, Heavy Shackle Breaker, 5 Necropotents, and Shadow Rend procs your pet, which also gives you Minor Maim. Very useful in a small scale fight. Minor Maim is very valuable. You could still run Light Armor Shackle Breaker, you could still run Necropotents, and you could run and your Shadow Rend. However, this is just another option for you guys that still want the heavy armor resistances, but maybe you just want like a little bit more oomph with with the light armor passives. If you guys watched my previous video where I was talking about Fortified Brass, this is kind of right down that line. So let's dive into the gear. Oh, well, that's the skills, that is not the gear. Sorry about that. We were running 5 Necropotents. We were running 3 jewelry pieces, 2 recovery, 1 reduced cost, because we're running tri-food this time. As you guys know, Necropotence is max magicka, max magicka, max magicka. While you have a pet active, your max magicka is increased by 3,000. So very, very high damage set. This also scales with our Purifying Light. It also coincides pretty well with our sustain. Because we have a larger pool, we'll stay in a fight longer, more naturally than somebody with similar recoveries. So it works out pretty well for a bunch of different reasons. We're running 3 jewelry pieces, 1 body, and then we were running a shield on the back bar, impenetrable, and then we're running a sword on the front bar, sharpened. Our other 5 piece, we were running Fortified Brass. Now, if you guys just watched the video that I posted before, Fortified Brass is a new set coming out. It came out, it's in Clockwork City. 4-piece crafted, so you only need to have 4 researched. It gives you health, resistance, and then a shit ton of resistances. So we have light armor infused, and then the rest are all in impen. And then on top of that, we're running heavy armor Shadow Rend Pauldron and a medium impen Shadow Rend mask. As far as our skills go, on our sword and shield bar, we were running Bat Swarm, Devouring Swarm on our back bar. This is going to be like our oh shit AoE ultimate, very useful when we're focused and we still want to dish out damage. This keeps us healed pretty well. Structured Entropy, Channeled Focus, Elusive Mist, Breath of Life, Extended Ritual. Extended Ritual is just better. It purges 5 dots. Breath of Life is, if you're running around solo, Honor the Dead will be better. But Breath of Life is just, I don't know. You get a heal more often. Sometimes if you're running next to somebody and you hit Honor the Dead, it'll go to the other person, and then you need the heal, and then you die, and then it's frustrating. But, that's going to be your choice. Front bar, we're running Puncturing Sweeps, Toppling Charge, Purifying Light, Radiant Oppression, and Reflective Light. Now, Reflective Light, very useful. It's a dot. It hits up to 3 people. It also increases our spell critical rating. So this is like running Inner Light on our front bar. We're using this instead. It's also a damage over time effect. And then we'll cheese it up with Soul Assault as well because, why not? We're a Templar. We don't have a bunch of super good options for ultimates for a Templar for damage. We could run the Magicka version of this, but let's be honest, take reduced damage. That's not super useful. The tooltip for it isn't very high. It does proc Burning Light, so that is useful. But this used to be magic damage. Crescent Sweep is just the better version. Now that it's taken away, it's not nearly as useful. Nova's too big of an ultimate. If you drop a meteor on somebody and they see it coming, they can just block, and you have no CC that can go through block to make them eat the meteor. So oftentimes you build up that super big ultimate, and then it just doesn't work. You could run Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker's physical. That's more than fine too. I run Dawnbreaker Smiting quite a few times. It does pretty good damage, but at the end of the day, a lot of people get mad at Templars for, cheesing it up and running Soul Assault, but at the same time, you just don't have that many options as a Magic Templar. So, not fun. So we're gonna run Soul Assault because it's the best ultimate for us. As far as our CP goes, we're running 66 in a Warlord, 4 in a Siphoner, 76 in an Arcanist, 61 in a Shadow Ward, 23 in a Tumbling, 11 in a Blessed, 61 Elfborn, 64 Elemental Expert, 38 Spell Erosion, 56 Thaumaturge, 51 Ironclad, 26 Resistant, 49 Hardy, 49 Elemental Defender, 53 into Quick Recovery to boost our heals. Now, as far as our character sheet goes, if we fully buff up, take a potion, we are sitting at 1951 magic recovery, 1536 spell damage, which does look low, but we are running Necropotence, guys. So our damage is going to come from our magicka. When our Necropotence procs, which in a fight it'll basically be up all the time, we're up to 41,500, 42,000 magicka, roughly. So we do have lower spell, it does look like it's lower spell damage, but because we're a light armor build, we get 5k more spell pen off of running light. We also have a big chunk of max magicka, which also adds into our value. So we actually do still hit pretty hard. We have 23k health, we have 15k stamina, which is a pretty good sweet spot. With our resistances on our front bar, 26.5 spell resistance, 22,000 physical, 2200 crit resist on our back bar. 31,000 spell, which is pretty damn close to the cap, 26,000 physical. Now, as I said before, if you guys watched my previous video, there are some benefits to running light over heavy armor. And obviously the damage doesn't look super awesome, and you know, if you guys are at this point and you're like, you know, why the hell are you running light armor? You know, the main reason is yes, we are missing out on the Constitution passive, which gives us stamina return. But what we get is we get all of this. Increases your magic recovery by 4% for each piece of light armor equipped. We can run at least 3 more of this, so we get 12% more recovery. We get at least 6% more reduced cost, which is almost the same amount. Like, that's the same amount as like 5-piece Alteration Mastery. That's almost the same amount as the 5-piece that Seducer provides us. So the reduced cost is very valuable, guys. You know, like this reduced cost is almost as good as some other 5 pieces in the game. So if you want to take advantage of your ability to cast spells and be able to sustain a little bit better while missing out on some stamina sustain, a light armor build is option. It's not that this is better, it's that it's slightly different. Spell warding, spell resistance, whatever. We also get increased spell crit, which is very nice. And then we also get spell penetration. And so this is the main reason we're running this. And so it's not going to show up on our blank character sheet. It's not going to be, you know, the super awesome, sexy part of this build. But this shows up all the time in PvP. And so against an average person wearing heavy armor, your light armor build is going to hit roughly 8 to 10% harder with similar stats compared to heavy. And so that extra 10% comes in handy when you're really trying to burst somebody down and finish them, because that's that little bit extra tick that allows your Radiant to hit even harder when they're in execute. So not that it's better. Like I said, guys, like I think heavy's still more than fine. I think it's very useful. But if you want to go light and you want to keep the resistances, you know, and you're a little bit worried about light armor shackle breaker and you want to kind of build your way up to it, maybe try fortified brass. And if you like this, maybe go light shackle breaker and, you know, move yourself along the way. We are running tripods. We are running, we are stage 4 vampire. We are running the Atronach Mundus Stone. I think that's it for the build. So that's going to be it for the build, guys. If you have any questions, please comment in the section below. I will still be running the heavy armor build. Nothing has changed from last patch to this patch for the heavy armor build. So if you're running the Petplar build from last patch, you're more than fine. If you want to give it the light armor option, you want to see if you like that spell pen, this is the alternative. This is one of the alternatives that you can run that I think is very effective. We are running 1 reduced cost, so our recovery doesn't look as good compared to the other patch, but we have more reduced costs with this setup because we are running light, and with channeled focus, you know, we get our recovery back that way. So once again, that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.